Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Full of personality. Switching up the storyline on God, we making history.
Writing books, changing lives, one day at a time. Put your problems to the side. Enjoy yourself. Free your mind.
Kicking it with KeKe.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am your host, KeKe Chanel, award-winning author, lifestyle blogger, certified life coach. The overall theme for Kicking It with KeKe is all about personal development and mindset. I believe that when you operate as your highest self, you go through life more abundantly. So that is the overall theme for the podcast. I like to give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves, and I am joined with the amazing woman today, and we're going to talk about some gems. She's going to give us some tips and business strategies and mental health and all the things. So go ahead, gorgeous, and tell the people who you are and what you do. And thank you for coming to kick it with me today.
Yes, thank you, KeKe, for inviting me. My name is Latoya Cooper. I am the founder and creator of Think Pink Persona. And I am excited today just to talk about what we have going on at Think Pink Persona, our mission, our purpose, and just adding value to your viewers.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you for stopping by, kicking it with me. We're going to have an amazing time. But before we get started, I have to ask this question because the overall theme for Kicking It with KeKe is all about personal development. When you hear the words personal development, what does that mean for you?
Investing in yourself and being open to investing in yourself and receiving through that process and embracing the fact that what you invest in is going to show up for you.
Oh, I love that. Investing in yourself. You guys hear that? You hear that? Investing in yourself is all about that personal development. You have to be able to invest in yourself. And so investing in yourself, it looks like mindset for me. You have to want better in order to do better, in my opinion. So when it comes to mindset, how important is it as far as like in our overall lives, but when it comes to business, how important is mindset?
Mindset is literally the key that holds everything together or just helps your vision to come to life. Mindset is an intricate part to every component of your business, not only within the business, but also your personal life as well. We have to make sure we have a balanced mindset in our personal life for our business to be able to come together as well. One thing that I have been really sharing with people to help grasp what is mindset? What does it really mean? Because I think sometimes it's hard for people to really understand what that actually means. It's incorporating new processes that support your success, right? It's also understanding that if we don't invest in ourselves, if we don't put in processes that help with our mindset, we will be in the same spot this time next year that we are now. And if you're anything like you and me, we are not trying to be in the same spot a year from now. All right.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I love that. And a lot of people just think that going into business is all about making money. You going in it with the wrong type of mindset if that's your main focus, because you're not going to have those months where you're doing any type of income. You may not. I mean, but what are you doing to prepare yourself mentally for those days? And the economy is trying to get back on the rise from with COVID. So let's talk about business strategies when it comes to business mindset, branding, and building a personal brand as well as a professional brand in business.
So one thing that I think is really important, especially now, is everyone's emphasizing with the experiences of COVID and the recession. And one great mindset perspective to have around your business and brand building is that you are going to prosper in any season. And it's really important to not take on all of that energy that everybody else is taking on. You are going to walk, you're going to talk, you're going to show up, like success is right there waiting for you, right? And that your clients and your customers and your fans are going to come there and come to you. And they will. If you work on your branding and you get that really tight, if you work on your processes and you automate things and you show up and you're consistent, it doesn't matter what's happening. You're going to do well if you're able to pull those things together.
Absolutely. And it's all about preparation. You have to execute. Implementation and execution, because you can talk it all day long. You can come up with all of the different strategies, but if you don't execute those and put them in place, it's just talking.
Right. And just being consistent. Like you said, there's going to be days where you may not make any money. And there may be days where you make a lot of money. But in those days, those downtimes, are you still working out? Are you still making those phone calls? Are you still looking at processes in your business that you can improve? Are you continuing your education? Are you investing in yourself? And as you mentioned, those moments are what is going to prepare you to be able to withstand the influx on the days that things pick up for you.
Absolutely. Perfectly said. I totally agree. Okay. And so when it comes to business strategy, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about buyer persona. Can you break that down and let everybody know exactly what that means? And then the concept behind it, why you're so passionate about it for us as women in business?
Yes. Thank you for asking this question. I am very passionate about this because I wish somebody would have told me about this 7-8 years ago. I had started my business and I was putting all this money and time into my business and just thinking that just doing that and learning and implementing a few little things here and there and keep going, that everything was going to work out. And I never understood, like, why are the pieces not coming together? And I was missing a valuable component, which is literally 80% of your business. And it's so simple that people can teach you. And it's the buyer persona, which is basically your customer profile. People will use that word interchangeably. I refer to buyer persona because it's more defined as attracting your customers. And then your customer profile is more about your existing customer and maintaining that customer. So one of the common issues that we see in a lot of businesses that could potentially be really great is the inability to connect with their customer because they don't know who their customer is. And they don't know how to speak the customer's language. They don't know how to create an environment that is welcoming and inviting to the customer. And they don't know how to attract the customer through marketing. This is unfortunately something that's not talked about, especially in communities of color very often. And so it is my personal mission to talk about this as much as possible to make sure we're getting this very valuable component when we're building businesses and starting out.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, because, I'm just being honest, I've never heard of it called buyer persona. Now, I've heard about the customer profile, but, different terms mean different things. And it has a lot of weight to it, what it's actually called when it comes to business. So culture, let's talk about the culture of business, because it seems like everybody has a business nowadays. We know about the PPP loans and all of this good stuff. So what can you say to a listener who is just standing in their own way about opening their business, especially with the trends and the way that our, the culture is, someone should start a business? But I also believe that not everybody should have, be a business owner. Maybe you should have a partnership or something like that. So let's talk about that business and in our culture.
Right. You're absolutely correct. Everybody is not meant to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is a spiritual journey. It is a spiritual journey. And it requires you to fully submit to the process and trust the process, even when you don't know what tomorrow brings. And a lot of people are not willing to do that. And so it is trendy to run a business right now. It is trendy to be an entrepreneur. But like you said, it's not meant for everybody. And you find out real quick who's going to last and who's not going to last. And one of I would say a few signs would be not being consistent, not truly believing in yourself and what you do. You can throw all the money at your business. You can do all the right things. But if you don't truly believe in yourself and what you do, you're going to stay stuck. It just doesn't happen. There's so many components that are so important, and believing in yourself is one of the most important components. And I see a lot of people who start businesses and they really don't believe in themselves, not even enough to invest in that business or invest in themselves. Right. And it goes back to the conversation of mindset. The mindset is not there to do what's required to get the results. And that's what I got to say about that. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I totally agree, because, you know, I talk to people all the time, and they always, because I help people write books and stuff too. And that's the main thing that they're focused on is becoming a bestseller. And I always say, okay, you want to be on a bestsellers list, but who is your target audience? What do you want people to gain from reading your book? What is your message? They don't know. They're just in it to make the money. And so it all goes back to that mindset. And, you know, if you go in it that way, because let's just face it, when you're an author. So you know that it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to put yourself out there and to get people to know that your book exists. And a lot of people don't like to do the work. They want the work done for them. So let's talk about doing the work and showing up and being consistent when it comes to building your brand or your business. To someone that's listening today that may need some tips, what can you tell them?
Yes. So you're exactly correct. Somebody's got to do the work. And if you're not willing to do the work, then you got to pay somebody to do the work. But then here's the caveat behind that. You have to know what's going on, and you have to learn enough about each process to make sure that you're hiring the right people to get the job done well. Then on top of that, going back to what you were saying is you want to be a bestseller, but you don't know who the book is even for, or who's going to read the book, or who you're going to market it to. Now you can't even communicate effectively and articulate. There's a particular word I'm looking for, articulately, but that's not the word I'm looking for. I can't say that either. You can't really effectively describe what it is that you need the people that you hire to do the job, because they need to know who your customer is, who's going to read this book in order to be able to give you the best results. Right. And so now you just got a mess. So the best thing I would recommend is learn as much as you can about each subject. The best way to look at it is look at yourself through the lens of like an actual CEO. A CEO may not know every intricate detail of the business, but they know enough to have an intelligent conversation around any subject going on within that organization. And they know enough to know when there's a red flag. So that's the best way to look at it. But you have to do the work because, and here's my question. Why do you not want to do the work? You know, do you really want this? That's the question. Right. And then why are you in it? If you know what I'm saying, like, that's what I want to know.
Yeah. Like, understand your why. And I tell my clients that all the time. What is your why? Why do you want to write this book? Like, what are you getting from it? What is your why? Why? So that is a question that listeners, anyone who's listening that's ready to put that book out, what is your why for putting that book out or starting a business? What is your why? You have to know, and you have to be able to, like you said, invest in yourself. That is not always a free course or a masterclass. Sometimes you're gonna have to get off. Sometimes you're gonna have to get off the coin.
Let's talk about that before we go forward. And the word I was looking for was articulate. That was the word I was looking for. I was like halfway in the word. I was like, articulate. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Okay, let's talk about that. Because I talk about this very thing all the time. A free course, YouTube Academy, or a TikTok 30-second post is not going to change your life. It's not going to make you a millionaire overnight. It just does not work like that. You have to get into the right rooms, into the right spaces, and it's going to require you to invest in yourself to get into those spaces. You know, you can either spend 6 months trying to figure something out, or you can spend 15 minutes trying to figure something out. A lot of people don't realize that there's great information that's being shared, but it's from the perspective of that person's experience experience or it's very generalized. So when we take this generalized information and we apply it to our businesses, it does not address the unique needs that we have. And so then we start running in circles.
Mm-hmm. Like a hamster on a wheel.
Yes.
Yep. Like a hamster on a wheel. Yep. And I wanted to address that because I found myself when I first started courses, I took a couple of paid courses and all of that. And I realized that those courses that were free was only going to give you a certain amount to keep you coming back. And it's always going to be some offer at the end, but not everybody that you take that free course with will help you grow in your business.
We'll look at the free courses as the end all be all and the answer to the helping them be a successful entrepreneur. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
It doesn't. No.
It doesn't. And going back to what I was saying, I think part of it is people don't realize that we all have unique experiences in our journey. Our entrepreneurship journeys are all different. And we take the information, that foundational information that we learn, and we have to tweak it to what works for us and what we're trying to, create. And until you get into that actual process, you don't necessarily realize that, hey, this worked for this person, but this ain't gonna work for me. Like I gotta.
And you have to have that discernment to know in the pit of your stomach too, because I'm a woman of faith. So I trust God in everything that I do. And you have to realize that, okay, just because they're successful and we're doing the same thing, that doesn't mean that I have to mimic what they do, because that works for them. It may not work for you. And you have to also have that, authenticity about yourself to set yourself apart. What makes you special? Why people want to do business with you? What are they getting from you that they're not getting from somebody else? And I like doing events and stuff over the years, I realized that people do business with people that they like. So you have to show your personality in everything that you do as well. Yeah. Yes. And let's talk about being authentically you. Even if you're in a business, it's okay to be serious, but sometimes you have to just be goofy and laugh.
Yes, that is very important to be authentically yourself. And your customers, your clients and fans, they want to know that you're human. Your customers, clients, and fans want to know that you're human. And let me share some perspective around this for anyone who's watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, and just to get a sense of clarity and connection. We all deal with things in our personal life, right? And when we see people are perfect in the world, who are where we want to be, it's hard for us to feel comfortable and relaxed because we feel like maybe our silly selves is not okay. And there's no place for our silly selves in the world. But when we see people like you and I who are, having a little fun and, it's like, wow, I was just doing that in the mirror a few minutes ago, and, they can relate and they're human and they're not going to judge me. And this is a safe place for me to be myself and to learn and to grow and to evolve. Yes, let's be human. And I had to learn this myself.
Yes.
For years, I didn't allow my silly self to be out in the public. And now I'm twerking. I'm having all kinds of fun on the internet. Let me tell you.
Yes.
And I need to check my TikTok. I'm gonna check my TikTok when I get off this podcast, because I just posted a rant with somebody had a comment and I posted a rant. And sometimes, you just gotta express yourself. It is what it is.
Yep. Express yourself. Yes, you have to. And I love that, because I just recently joined TikTok like a couple of months ago. And I find myself, TikTok gets a different version than Instagram. Because I just be silly. I be myself. I'm goofy, KeKe. Although my message is the same about mindset and positivity and stuff like that when I'm doing that. But I let my hair down, so to speak. And my brother always tell me, he was like, yeah, you do a great job on Instagram, but them people need to see KeKe. They need to see the goofy side and know the goofy stuff that you do, because you are amazing. And I was like, you know what, bro, thank you so much. And he was like, I'm not just saying that because you're my sister. You really are amazing. And people flock to your energy because it's so genuine. And now that's always in the back of my mind for him saying that to me. So when I do post, I always try to be a little witty or a little quirky, just have a little bit of my more personality in the post. And I find that when I do stuff like that, those are the posts that gets the most attraction.
Yep. You're absolutely
Yes.
correct. We're yearning for that. We're yearning for that, especially coming out of this pandemic. We are yearning to be able to connect with people in a very authentic way. And we can feel that energy through the camera. We don't always think people can feel that, but we can.
Right. Absolutely. And energy is transferable, like good or bad is transferable. So
Yes.
just anyone who's listening and you on social media, just be aware of what you're doing, because you can actually help or hurt someone's day by some of the stuff that you say and post. So I just wanted to put that out there. So let's talk about your book, Simple Methods, Smarter Decisions. I love that title.
Yes. So that is my first book, Simple Methods, Smarter Decisions, a safety resource for female recording artists. So when I started my business, I really catered to women who were in the entertainment space, in the music industry and things like that. The most craziest thing that happened is that as I'm sharing all of that information with the world in the book and things like that, people outside of the music industry were coming to me and wanting to work with me. They're like, hey, you got some skill sets that I would love to tap into. And so that book was an Amazon bestseller. And I'm now working on my second book, which is called, I don't know if she shared the title of my second book, which is Are You Ready to Piss Someone Off Today? That's what it's called.
Oh, no, she did not. She did not.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And let me share with you, and we'll get back and talk about the first book, and I want to emphasize this, but the reason why I titled the second book, the title, is because one of the main issues that I've been having to work through with my clients is the fear of not accommodating everyone, because I work mainly with women. And so they're stuck in their business. They've got great products, but they're not connecting with their customers. And part of it is because they're not speaking to a particular person. They want to make everybody feel good and hurt anybody's feelings. And that's what's keeping them broke. And I said, no, you got to get in there, baby. And you got to be hyper focused on your customer and let them and make them feel special, because they are special.
Yep.
So in the process of focusing in on your customer, you're going to piss a lot of people off, because they're going to feel left out. And you have to be okay with that. So
you do. You have to be okay with being okay that you're not for everybody and not everybody's for you, and own that. You are set apart for a reason. Anyone that's feeling like that, if you're listening, just know that you are worthy. You are worth it. Your value belongs in this space, and just own it. Show up for yourself. Be true to who you are. Operate in integrity and move with love. And no one can stop you but you.
Yes.
Nobody can stop you but you. But I love that title, man. I love that title. I cannot wait to read that. When is that dropping?
That one is going to probably drop around November. So it's going to be a few months, about 6 months out, but I am going to be launching a pre-sale really, really soon. So if somebody wants to grab that book earlier on in the year, they can grab their copy, and I'll be sure to let you know when that happens. But to go back and talk,
please do.
And to go back and talk a little bit about the first book, there was some unique experiences that happened that sparked my passion for that book. And one is because I came out of the music space, there was unique conversations we were having as women that we would talk about amongst ourselves, but then we would kind of move on. And I'm like, hold up, other women who are coming behind us need to hear these stories, and they need to have this information to help keep them safe and to help them make sound business decisions. And what pushed me over the edge to write that book was actually Megan Thee Stallion, watching what she was going through. Yes, I was watching it. I was so triggered. I was triggered because I was like, I understand what she's going through, like many other women in the music industry. And I said, let me write this book, share my story, share my expertise, and just to see how the book has been received has been amazing. One thing I will share that I think was a smart decision is the title of the book is a little controversial, I would think a little bit. And that was a smart move to make because it sells itself as a result of that. So that's some free tea for anybody that's watching. Put a controversial title on your book and it will sell itself.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And just, don't allow other people to get in your head to change your concept of what you're producing. Yeah, it's okay to get help and stuff like that. But if you have your mindset on a title, own that. And the right people will own that with you. So, make sure that you keep the integrity of your work intact, because when I released my first book, I allowed someone else to go in and do the editing and things like that, paid them for a service, and my book is flawed. So I was like, you know what, let me step back a minute, do some more research, and then redirect my focus, and then do stuff myself. And I can just, learn how to do it so I can teach others not to go through, so they won't have to go through what I went through. But yeah, and I could have allowed that to stop me, but I didn't. I allowed myself to rise above it. And, 15 books later, right? 15 books later, I am here. I'm able to help other people not go through some of the things that they go through in the industry. Yes.
Wow.
Yep. So, yes, I love that. So I know that Amazon, you said that you could get the book on Amazon. Like if they wanted to get an autographed copy, how can they get an autographed copy?
They can email me at contact@thinkpinkpersona.com, and I'll be happy to send them an autographed version of the first book, Simple Methods, Smarter Decisions. The great thing is the book is available in all popular forms of desired books. So we have an ebook version, a paperback version, and we also have an audiobook version. So for the busy entrepreneurs out there, you want to listen on the go or while you're working out, you can listen to the book. And it's a super easy read. And I made the book like that intentionally. So like, give me the meat. And I'm like that too. So I was like, give me the meat. Don't fluffle around. Give me the meat.
Right. Absolutely. Because sometimes you just need that meat. You just need the meat so that you can get empowered to do what you need to do in that moment. Instead of like, dragging it out. Because I've read books and I'm like, could you get to the point? And I'm turning pages, but I hate to turn pages because I don't want to feel like I'm missing something. So I'm glad that you say that. Just get to the meat of it. Before we, close on out of here, tell the people how they can connect with you if they wanted to work with you or find out more information and things like that. How can they connect with you?
Absolutely. So you can visit our business website, which is thinkpinkpersona.com. There you'll be able to see our services, what we do, what we represent, our mission, and you can set up a consultation with me from there as well. If you're wanting to learn more about just be part of the community, you can join our email list from there as well, just by signing up with some free training there, which I do offer valuable free training, and you will be added to our email list and be in the loop within our email community. And if you would like to follow me on social media, you can find me on TikTok at A-List Business Strategist, A-List Business Strategist there. And I drop gems every single day. And some
I love it.
And
all
some story
of her
times.
She said, I love it. You have to, but you guys, all of her contact information will be in the show notes. So you don't have a choice not to connect and find out this amazing information that she is just giving willingly to you guys. So you don't have an excuse. So all that will be there. And again, I thank you for coming to Kick with me. So what's next for, Latoya? What's next for you?
I am looking forward to a powerful year. We have had a great start. I am booked up. My schedule is booked up with new clients coming in and things like that, and lots of podcasts. A new book is coming, and speaking opportunities, engagements in the future. So I am very, very busy and just excited and just thankful for the opportunity to sit down with you, KeKe, and just share with our viewers and listeners today. And I'm just thankful for what you do in creating a platform for everyone to connect and receive something of value.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I mean, that's the overall thing. I want people to feel good while they watch me and my guests talk about different topics. And I want it to be fun. I want them to be able to resonate with something that we say to resonate with them so they can leave better than what they came in. That's my overall focus for the podcast. And I'm grateful for it. And I thank you for coming to kick it with me again. So I like to ask this question to all my guests. It's called On a Personal Note. On a personal note, what would your now self tell your younger self about something that we talked about today? And we talked about a lot. So what would your now self tell your younger self about something we touched on today?
Take the risk and listen to your inner voice and your inner compass. Like you said, trusting what you know is inside of you and your promise. My younger self was very aware of my full potential, but I listened to other people who did not have the ability to see beyond where they were. And it took me to be 41 years old to realize that I had to step away from that and trust my inner compass. So, but I wish that my 20-year-old self trusted her inner compass. I am delayed, but I am not stopped. I have to remind myself of that every day. So, yeah.
I love that. I am delayed, but I am not stopped. I love that. And then trust your inner compass. That just gave me goosebumps, man. That gave me goosebumps. I love it. I love it. I love it. That you decided to come and kick it with us today. So you are very appreciated. Make sure that you don't forget to subscribe, like, share, tell a friend so we can all be friends. I have new episodes that drop every Thursday at noon. Again, you guys have been listening to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, life, love, and all that other shit. Until next time, love and light. Later.
Bye.